welcome to Restaurant Spotlight. Today we're visiting the Glen Rock Mill Inn in historic Glen Rock, Pennsylvania. This is Terry. He is the owner of the Glen Rock Mill Inn. And Terry, I just have to tell you that this place is gorgeous, and you can just feel the history just coming out of the walls of this great facility of yours. Could you tell us a little bit about the history of the Glen Rock Mill Inn?
Sure. The building was built in 1837, which is over 175 years ago. Originally built by William Heathcote, the founder of Glen Rock, as a woolen mill. Since 1837, it's been through a number of iterations, all with a manufacturing bent to it. Created wool, obviously, initially, moved into flour, was a flour mill for many years, and then a feed mill most recently, up until the 1980s. In mid-1980s, it was converted into an inn and a restaurant. So for the past 175 years, evolved into different businesses doing different things, but it's always kind of been a theme of the community. Glen Rock grew up around the mill. The products that we create and have been created here are a product of the environment that we're in, either grain or wool or whatever. We've tried to bring that forward into the dining experience. We like to think it's a place where you can bring your friends and enjoy food and around a community of friends. This particular room that we're in right now is the fountain room. The fountain room was actually created in the mid-1980s as a byproduct of creating the restaurant. The area here actually was outside. It was the tail race. So being a water-powered mill that this was, there's a head race and a water wheel and a tail race. The tail race is directly below where we are today. The tail race carried the water off the wheel and out into Cador's Creek. And we still have water that runs under this room. The tail race runs out under the railroad tracks that are out here to my right and out into Cador's Creek.
Wow.
And it has for over 175 years.
Well, and you're right along the rail trail and the steam into history train tracks too, correct?
Right, we are. It's kind of it's moving to sit here when the train goes by and you see the big engine. You know, it basically takes up the whole windows. It's a huge train. It kind of puts you back to that 1860s, 1870s era when that train went up and down these tracks carrying, obviously, people like President Lincoln a couple of times, and kind of gives you a feel for the history.
Well, now we know a little bit about the history. Tell us about the food, which you're rather famous for, too.
Absolutely, absolutely. We do a collection of American cuisine. What we have today are crab cakes. We have signature crab cakes. We use jumble up crab meat. We make our own crab cakes in-house. Today we have a New York strip steak, and that's going to be with our roasted potatoes and also the green beans. A good amount of our products are made from scratch right here in our kitchen. We make our own desserts, so we're fairly committed to being an authentic American restaurant.
Obviously, you have some nice selections of wine and beers, I suppose. You serve all sorts of alcohol, or just wine and beer?
Yeah, we have a full liquor license. Wine, beers. We have a number of different local wines that we feature from local wineries. We also have all different kinds of spirits. Obviously, we're pretty famous for a fairly good martini selection.
Oh.
So there's probably 12 to 15 martinis that we make that we have on our list every day. That we're going to go in a minute and look at the wine cellar. So we have a wine cellar where we use it both as a meeting room as well as a place to store wine and our, all the rest of our beverages.
What do you have for those of us that have a little bit of a sweet tooth, Terry?
I think one of the desserts that we've always had is a creme brulee. We do a really great creme brulee, I believe. Chocolate cake as well. We do the chocolate cake, which is very popular. And probably one of the most popular dishes that we have for dessert is a peanut butter pie.
Oh, that sounds good.
So it's kind of a special recipe that we have.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to give that a try. Yeah. Why don't we head on down to the cellar room and you can show us that? So, Terry, what goes on down here? Do you guys serve meals here or parties? What happens in the wine cellar?
Well, we do both. We use it for special parties, so groups of maybe 12, 15, up to maybe 20, 22. Mm-hmm. It's a nice spot for that. There's also an adjoining outdoor area that in the summertime, people like to kind of gather there and kind of an indoor-outdoor type feel to it. Mm-hmm. The room's kind of special since it was built in the mid-1980s. Actually, this was the main shaft of the mill when it was a mill.
Wow.
And when it was converted, they created a wine rack out of that main shaft and created this wine cellar. So it has a number of different features to it, from obviously the wine rack to a number of different winemaking products that we have. Over to my left is a fruit crusher. So when you bring the grapes in, they would crush them with that. Over here to the right, we also have a press, so you'd use that to press. And there's a number of different wine storage. There's a carboy here on my right. There's a couple of wine decanters up above the wine rack. So just made to feel like kind of a wine cellar, kind of a focal point for the mill. Obviously, as I said, this was where the main shaft was when it was a mill. And the other side of that wall is where the actual water wheel was. And there's still pieces of the water wheel there today.
And I understand, Terry, that you also are supportive, very much so, of the local farmers and producers.
Yes, we're a member of Buy Fresh, Buy Local. We try to source as many materials as we can from local farmers. We also do some stuff with organic farms that are nearby. This time of year, you know, in the midwinter, it's difficult to get local produce. But certainly, come spring and into the summertime, there's a number of different farms that we work with to get local food.
That is fabulous. It really is. And this building is fabulous, Terry. Thank you so much for having us here today. And folks, if you're looking for a truly special place to enjoy a great meal and some great history, visit the Glen Rock Mill Inn. It is where food and friends come together for over 175 years. Thank you for watching Restaurant Spotlight. For more information on the Glen Rock Mill Inn, stop by Wednesday through Sunday or visit them online at glenrockmillinn.com.